It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tune into World Combat Sports. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, you're listening to World Combat Sports 2021. Hey, it's still the first week of the New Year's, so I got to keep on saying it. Happy New Year's to everybody that's out there cooking. Hope you had a wonderful day at work. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like. You know what I'm saying? Support. Share the content. All that. We need to get these subscriptions up. We need to grow the channel. It's one team, one fight. You understand? My title today, if you don't know, now you know, don't bring a Garcia to a tank fight. From what I'm hearing, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight has already been made. That is what I'm hearing, that it was made somewhat like Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. Somehow, some way, the rumor is out that this fight has already been made before the Campbell fight. Gervonta supposedly was talking with Ryan Garcia before the fight even happened. I'm talking about the night of, before he even walked to the ring. Ryan Garcia was talking with Gervonta Davis already. They was in conversation. This is crazy, but it's good. Because if that is indeed true, that just goes to show me that I wouldn't say the best fighting the best, but it's possible for a fight to be made when the potential is there to get this out the way. And if it is indeed true and validated, this would be the second big fight that has happened in the exact same division. We're talking about, just because it's a 135-pound division, what is going on, man? Is the minutia different? What are we talking about here? If Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia happens, and then we had Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko happen, this is amazing. This proves that these fights can be made. Now, what's going to be the case? We're dealing with Golden Boy now, and we're dealing with Mayweather Promotions over at PBC, right? So, of course, people's going to throw the promotions in there and everything. All right. So, therefore, if we're able to make this come together and it stick, we may potentially see Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. I would say, give or take, it has to be an 8-week training camp. Whatever, early April, mid-April, or whatever. What do you think? What do y'all think about this? Because it's a lot that's circulating around that this fight indeed is damn near a done deal. So if you didn't know already, Gervonta came out with this, on social media, and I guess they told him to take it down. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean the fight isn't going to happen, because we've seen this happen. We've seen this occur before. We've seen fighters get impulsive and put shit out there just to get a reaction from their audience. And then they take it down and somebody say, oh, that's not true. And then it comes back. Yeah, this fight is now happening. You know what I'm saying? It's now happening. It's indeed going down. SB90 in the house. What's good? What's good? WCS, what's happening, bro? What's happening with you, man? You know what I'm saying? We cooking again. I'm staying on this particular fight with Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis for many reasons, because it just goes to show you, people always want to reference Roger Mayweather. People don't know shit about boxing, but Sometimes you just have to listen to the individual who's in denial when they say that shit, because some of the stuff that individuals say here on social media, some of it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was speaking about how certain individuals have to do certain things on social media to get notoriety and others don't. It works for some and some it don't. In this particular case, we have Ryan Garcia who's never been world champion before. Everybody's talking about him getting off the canvas. And I've had so many people, pluses and minuses, some positives and negatives, but I had many people that would actually refer to me as hating on Ryan Garcia when I don't have to sit up here and have a certain have a certain logical thinking process about boxing, right? And prove to people what that logical process is and way I feel about something. And then they come back with a retort. And the only thing they're saying is, oh, you're just discriminating against a Mexican fighter. And I say, well, obviously you don't watch my content. So I ask you to just watch my content, check out the channel, and then you might have a different opinion about that. But all of a sudden, these specific fighters like Ryan Garcia is getting all this praise and glory. And where I'm from, it's just not something I praise. I'm not going to praise a fighter for getting off the canvas as if he's the greatest. Even though a lot of greats have gotten off the canvas in big fights. But Ryan Garcia was on the canvas in a fight that wasn't considerably that big in notoriety. It wasn't. But what I do like is the charisma of Ryan Garcia. I like the bravado that he brings. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Who am I to sit up here and tell that man, he was acting like a bitch that night? Not at all. He got up, and you're talking about somebody who looks at the art of war a bit different within my own mind. You know what I'm saying? Certain things are never going to play out perfectly for you to go out and seek and destroy. It's never going to be perfect. You got to fight through the fire. You got to fight through adversity. You got to fight through some situations that you couldn't think about in life, because that's how dangerous scenarios present themselves sometimes. And if Ryan Garcia got up and pushed towards Campbell and he was still buzzed, well, kudos to him. Salute to his courageousness, for him pushing forward. But who am I to sit up here and hear people dogging out Joshua Greer Jr., who was on the canvas twice against Mike Plania, and he fought to the final bell. Even was coming on. He was coming on in later rounds. He didn't get the victory, but he fought hard, and he fought very damn good to a tiring Mike Plania, but he lost. But people say, oh, he shot, he washed up, he ain't this, that, and the other. Same with Terrence Crawford and Deontay Wilder. I don't get the same energy. I need that energy. I need that energy. I do. Because what process are we using here? I say that about any fight. It don't matter how they look. Why are you on the deck? Why are we sitting up here praising someone for getting off the deck and then saying, oh, that not only are we going to praise you, we're going to put you in the top of the food chain, because now we understand you have courage. So continue to fight on in the sport and continue to go in there and touch the canvas and continue your groundwork, your philanthropy work, and giving up your chin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate what Eddie Reynoso said. He said, I've been training Canelo for this amount of years. I've been training Garcia for about 2 years now. I've been training this fighter for that many months. I appreciate what he said. I salute him for that. What's going on, Dunny Hall in the building? Salute to you, man. Y'all be sure to check out Dunny Hall, on TV and his podcast over there on Facebook. Salute to you. No, that's why I put the question mark. That's why I put the question mark. But Tank Davis brought out the fight itself, saying that that the fight is a done deal with him and Ryan Garcia. So therefore, hey, that's why I put the question mark. If the fight is indeed done and it comes out weeks later, guess what? Guess what's going to happen? It was already completed before he stepped down there with Luke Campbell. That's going to be the same instance that we can assume that was there with Saul Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, because he went in there and beat the shit out of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. for 12 rounds, and then immediately Gennady stepped through the ropes to announce they fight. So Chavez Jr. knew damn well he wasn't in there to win. He wasn't in there to win. And that's why a lot of people, when criticism is given towards Canelo Alvarez, don't take it as if it's personal. It's some of the sequences that go down in boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's some of the protocol that on the darker side of boxing, that some of these fighters know their place and what they're supposed to perform, how they supposed to perform, and they go in there and perform that way. If it's not for them to win that night, they're not going to win. And that was a perfect example. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. knew he wasn't in there to win against Canelo Alvarez, so he lost. He didn't freaking lay out, and then Gennady split the ropes. I'm not saying that's the same thing that happened with Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell, but a lot of criticism is to be given when you break down as to why Luke Campbell never attacked Ryan Garcia after he got up from the knockdown. Isn't and hasn't those of you that have watched the sport for quite some time, when a fighter gets up and he's hurt, isn't the one that knocked him down a little bit closer so they can actually resume the punishment and try to stop him? But see, Luke Campbell gave Ryan Garcia ample amount of room. He provided him ample amount of space. You know what I'm saying? He didn't hardly do shit. How are you going to knock somebody down, then all of a sudden you scared? He backs you back. He backs you up to the ropes. How the fuck does that happen? So you wanted to take the momentum, get the crowd up and everything, and then allow Ryan Garcia to have his climactic, suspenseful intrigue to the fans that was in attendance. You wanted to basically build Ryan Garcia into a hero overnight by knocking Luke Campbell down, right? And finishing the fight. After Luke Campbell didn't do a damn thing once Ryan Garcia got back to his feet. We're still waiting for him to do it again. How many times did Luke Campbell slip that damn left hand? Easily. And then all of a sudden, in between rounds, did they just put some cinder blocks on Luke Campbell's feet when Ryan Garcia came in and landed that left to the body? But I really hope this fight with Gervonta Davis is made. But I'm gonna be petty. I'm going to be petty, really, because I have not heard anyone say this shit yet. Are you all going to criticize Ryan Garcia for calling out a 130-pounder? Are you going to criticize him for that? Because that's what Gervonta Davis is, right? 130-pounder, right? Because you all was criticizing Gervonta Davis for stepping down there and fighting Leo Santa Cruz, right? Y'all didn't even give Leo Santa Cruz 130. You gave Leo Santa Cruz featherweight. Oh, he beat a 126-pounder. So is that the same thing with Ryan Garcia right now? Because right now, Gervonta Davis, he just finished a fight with Leo Santa Cruz at 130. He only had one freaking fight at 135. One fight. Is he a true 35er? Or he a 30-pounder? because most of his fights was at 130, right? His championships he picked up, you know what I'm saying? That's 130. So we criticizing him for fighting a smaller Gervonta Davis? Hell no, you ain't. No, you ain't. You know why you're not? Because you don't want to take away from the momentum that's circulating around with all the 7.8 million followers. A lot of people want this fight to happen because they're trying so hard to find a Canelo Alvarez successor. They're trying to find a Canelo Alvarez successor. They want to keep the momentum going. Golden Boy desperately needs Ryan Garcia. Desperately. They need another face. They need another fighter to live up to the hype and make this money. Seriously. So they go find Gervonta Davis, a dog, a savage, a Baltimore motherfucking hyena, if that's even a word, a Kodiak. This dude is a predator. And I hear people out there just saying that Ryan Garcia, he presents a problem, and hear people coming on and saying, well, you know what? I hear everybody counting Ryan Garcia out, but he's a dangerous fighter heading in there with Gervonta Davis. Man, Gervonta really should watch out. But like I said before, are you all going to hold Ryan Garcia accountable for fighting a 30-pounder, 130-pound junior lightweight fighter? Because he only fought Gamboa, right? So Gamboa, last time I checked, before he fought Gervonta Davis, they fought on the same card in Baltimore. That was going to be the build up for 135 pounds. That was going to be the build up. So if you fought one fight at 135 pounds, are you a true lightweight? Or Gervonta is a true junior lightweight? But we know that Ryan Garcia has fought several fights at lightweight. I'm just WCS. I'm just trying to bring you some little details, some little sprinkles of that little salt, and tell you to lean your head back and open your eyes. Just sprinkle that in there. Hold up, and let me get this lemon. Let me squeeze some of that, squirt some of that damn lemon juice in your eye. I'm just saying, I'm not seeing the same energy across the board. I'm not seeing it. But what I do see is you don't bring a Garcia to a tank fight. I truly believe it's not going to be this, stay on the outside. You cannot train Garcia in that short period of time to box on the outside like that against a fighter like Gervonta Davis. You can't do it. You cannot train him in that short period of time. You cannot come up with a game plan that's going to be a whitewash if Ryan Garcia steps in there with Gervonta Davis. The best thing about this matchup is the fact that it's going to generate notoriety. People are going to absolutely tune in once the word get out. If the fight happens, right, they're going to tune in. And we're going to be able to see two individuals that can promote the fight the right way. And the fight is going to be interesting as long as it lasts. It is. I don't see this fight going the distance. I don't. And if anyone that's listening has never seen Gervonta Davis get someone hurt, just go drop his name in the search engine. That's all I'm saying. Just check him out. He's a savage when he gets his opponent hurt. You think Gervonta is going to lay out and give 10 feet of space once his opponent comes off the deck, right? Once Garcia comes off the deck, and then say, okay, go ahead, let's go. And he's not going to press. He's going to press, man. Jones said, I feel like the lower class fighters are better than the heavy fighters as far as the IQ. It's according to how high we going now. How high are we going with the Jones? How high? I feel like the lower class fighters are better than the heavy fighters as far as the IQ. It's according to where we going. How high of a weight class are we going? Because I don't consider Ryan Garcia to have high ring IQ. I just don't consider. I don't consider him at all to have one of those pluses. You know what I'm saying? That I can say Ryan Garcia has astute ring IQ. Just from the way he was in there fighting, one of the biggest fights of his career, he was lacking a lot. And one of those minuses that I would speak on with Ryan Garcia is his diminished ring IQ. I wouldn't say diminished, okay? Because he's not diminishing from anything. I would say deficient. He has a limited depth of field right now in the way he look at the fight, in the way he see the fight. I'm not saying he can't box. Tank versus Garcia needs to happen. I'm tired of the inside fight. Boxing has to take chances. Well, like I said, if the 135-pound division makes this fight with Tank, guess what? That proves these fights can be made. What's going on? I'll be in the building. Salute to you, man. The Boxing King Archive salute. It's WCS. I've also heard accounts rigging B-side opponents' hotel rooms and making the B-side trips uncomfortable to exhaust their opponents before fight, might have competitive advantages. Well, look, I'm media. Okay. My primary scope is to report. And what I can report on what you just mentioned is the fact that possibly I've been in some areas that may have or may not. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's all around the board. People can say that about the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But the Boston Celtics say, hey, we didn't have no AC in the entire building. We wasn't trying to motherfucking make it seem Africa hot in that motherfucker. We was just the AC. We didn't have no AC. So as far as boxing, purposely manipulating fighters, probably that goes on in certain areas. That can go on in any sport, really. But I'm not here to speak on just an open-ended situation like that. And I really don't know where that even came from when the topic is you don't bring a Garcia to a Tank fight. Where'd that come from, dog? But I appreciate it. There's a high percentage of mental output that goes into a build of preparing for a boxing match. True, I agree. He said Ryan Garcia got a great stoppage against Luke Campbell. He also showed many holes in the game. Tank doesn't have many holes in his game. I just listen to a lot of stuff sometimes, what people say. And when they put the GREAT in there, I'm like, GREAT, how is that a great stoppage, man? Luke Campbell just stayed there. Like, this is a stoppage in comparison there, IB, that I would compare. I would compare the setup and the execution there, IB, to Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz. I would absolutely compare that to being a great stoppage because he stayed there in line right in front of Leo Santa Cruz to pull the right hand. Boom, got it. He pulled it again, got it. Leo said, shit, I got to get this motherfucker off me. I got to get off these ropes. He sent it again, slipped to the left, uppercut, lights out, done, over. Turn the showers on, we gone. That right there was a finish in which Gervonta Davis methodically planned out right in front of everyone. He planned that out. That's what I'm saying. He pulled it from Leo Santa Cruz. He executed his plan of attack and the finish, and it was in brutal fashion. Ryan Garcia landed a punch. He landed a punch to me. He landed a shot to the body, which we don't know if it was really that devastating because I've already reported that Lomachenko hurt him to the body too. I mean, come on, man. Lomachenko hurt him to the body also. That's just like I said about Lomachenko fighting Linares. It's not like Linares hasn't been hurt before. I grade a fighter, say, damn, has something been done to them that hasn't existed previously? And the one thing I can say about Luke Campbell is the fact that all the way up to that fight, I say he is comfortable with coming in second. Outside of his Olympic pedigree, he's comfortable, right? So the only thing that Ryan Garcia was able to do that's never been done to Luke Campbell is him not finishing the fight. But Luke Campbell is up here saying, "Oh, I've never been hit like that before." Stop it. Just stop it, bro. Stop it. I said it before the fight. Luke Campbell is comfortable in coming in second. He's comfortable with losing. He's comfortable with following orders. I'm serious. I'm going to call it the way I see it. I do not find Ryan Garcia's stoppage of Luke Campbell to be great at all. Now, I would say in another sense, it was GOOD. It was good. It was entertainment value for the fans. But as far as it being great, hell no. Absolutely not. But what I like about Ryan Garcia, like I say, he has that kind of swag to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He has this bravado about him, you know, that basically resonates with the fans and allow them to gravitate towards him. And they're going to pay to see Ryan fight. It's just like Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. Conor McGregor had this over-the-top, braggadocious type swag, this machismo, and people's like, hell yeah, Conor, get him, Conor. Conor's gonna knock Floyd out. Yes, he is. He's gonna knock Floyd out. He's a 2-division champion. This is it. Floyd takes his first L, and Floyd outboxed his ass. Played around with him. He had the persona to link up well. Ryan Garcia has the persona to link up well with Gervonta. He does. Look, I'm gonna be honest with Gervonta. Gervonta doesn't say much. Like, he'll talk his little shit, but he really doesn't say much. But he's developed such a freaking danger zone to his boxing character and to his persona that people understands Tank has the motherfucking ammunition in the barrel. They know that shit. They know he has the TNT, y'all. They know he has the explosiveness in his hands. So Gervonta doesn't have to talk a lot of shit leading up to fights because they know the man can motherfucking box. But with Ryan is gonna bring the Mexican flavor, the swag, the young looks, you know what I'm saying? The Hollywood like looks that the fans are gonna gravitate to, that have gravitated to. He's gonna bring that sense of innocence, even though he's in a full contact sport. He's gonna collectively bring all that. It's gonna be like a vortex between these two. Both of them have their own type of character when it comes to boxing. J8 in the building, salute. Garcia got that Amir Khan in him, WCS. Tank was knocked out 20. Tank knockout was 2020 hands down, man. You know, listen, not be all I could say is I was looking through the ropes. I was trying to look for facial expressions, mannerisms, you know. I wanted to see their body movement, the language each round. I just wanted to try to assess what and observe what I was looking at. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see what was going on with Gervonta Davis, what was going on with Leo Santa Cruz. And when he hit Leo Santa Cruz, they better be damn grateful that that corner was there to pretty much impede him crumbling to the canvas the way he did. The way he was hit with that damn left uppercut and how his descent would have been, it probably would have had him out a little bit longer. But since he dropped, and kind of brushed up against the corner, it kind of slowed him down for hitting his head off the canvas. But it was brutal. It was brutal. Alexander, what's good? Salute. What's going on, Dion Washington in the building, man? He said, I'm here with you, Scotty. J8. Garcia is good for boxing, no doubt. Hey, Garcia is good for boxing. Never said he wasn't. Garcia is good for boxing. You know what I'm saying? Haney's good for boxing. You know, you have a lot of people. I like Robert Easter. Robert Easter's a good dude, man. A lot of people don't get him. Richard Comey's a good dude. Teofimo Lopez, man, they're good. I don't get in between what goes on with, you know, between them and the boxer, because who am I to sit up here and say don't talk no shit in the sport? Talk your shit, but back it up. You know what I'm saying? Back it up. There's a lot of good people in boxing. It's a lot of good fighters that's good for the sport. Gervonta Davis is good for the sport because he brings you that motherfucking dynamic. He brings you the punch velocity. He brings you that anticipation like, oh shit, Gervonta Davis fighting again. God damn. He brings you that Mike Tyson-esque type of anticipation where you get a little anxious. You know, damn, Gervonta's, he's up next. Man, I want to know how they're going to deal with that power. But once he gets it done, right? Like when he knocked out Ricardo Nunez, that shit was brutal. Even though Ricardo Nunez wasn't going down like that, he was out on his feet. It's a difference, y'all. You can be out on your feet with Gervonta and still be trying to fight. And then sometimes Gervonta will freaking keep on. I mean, when he gets you hurt, he would just keep on stomping on your motherfucking head. Pop! He just keep on lighting that damn dynamite. There you go. Pulling the pins to the grenades. Here you are. There you go. There go another one. He just keep on landing until you drop. But in between fights, people look at Gervonta like, oh, he's small. But I'm saying to myself, like he's in 135-pound division. 130, 135. Everybody cannot be blessed with height. Everybody cannot be blessed with power, speed. Everyone cannot be blessed with the intelligence level to know how to split the ropes and go into the heat of battle. And when things go bad, in which battle is not, look, battle is not meant for both parties that's participating to feel good about the situation they're in. The heat of battle is supposed to have one of the two individuals trying to defeat the other. That's what the heat of battle is. You're not going in there to play patty cake. You're going in there to defeat the other, to disrupt the rhythm of the other, seize the moment, dominate by all means necessary, however you choose to do it, and earn the victory. Not everybody knows how to go and get that victory, especially if your opponent or your adversary, so to speak, is making it difficult for you to get it done. But with Gervonta Davis, he's a freaking dog-nacious type of fighter. He's from the streets. I know when it comes to a lot of people, they's like, you can't use the streets for everything. That shit don't matter. That shit does matter. Seriously, it does, man. In certain cases, it does. Because a lot of these street dudes, right, they go back, in their mind, they go back to some of the fights they had in the street when they get in certain situations. And that's why you see them just get nasty. They get motherfucking nasty. You take somebody that wasn't in the street life, they may not be able to go to that lower level like that and say, fuck it. Not everybody can do that shit. I'm not saying anything about Ryan and him coming from the background he did take away from his toughness. Ryan Garcia, at the end of the day, is a professional fighter. He went in there and ended up earning the victory. I will give Ryan the same amount of criticism I would get anybody else. He has received nowhere close to the criticism that I've given Devin Haney. Nowhere close. And that's just not even personal. It's just boxing. But him calling out Gervonta Davis for the motherfucking money bag, I would be the first to say, just like everybody was saying, well, Vasil Lomachenko isn't going to beat Teofimo. I was going for Teofimo Lopez. Not just because the fight arose. I had been supporting Teofimo Lopez long before that. So I felt that he physically had the abilities to go in there and match up well against Vasil and get the job done and earn the victory. And that's exactly what happened. For Gervonta Davis, I feel he is far the superior boxer. Far the superior boxer. If you want to continue on the metrics, he's smarter than Ryan Garcia as far as ring IQ. He's been in bigger fights. I really don't want to hear anybody jump on here and tell me, well, how do you know the ring IQ? Man, he's a 3-time world champion, for Christ's sake. That's not something I have to explain to you and bring out a spreadsheet. I shouldn't have to do a PowerPoint presentation. His ring IQ is higher than Ryan Garcia's. His punching power is more than Ryan Garcia. Call it for what it is now. Cause you know your boy be floating around here, letting his fingers do the walking. Goddamn it! When he fought Francisco Fonseca was coming up for 130. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just letting you know. He might have knocked him out early, but he went from 35 to 140, back down to 130, and back up to 35. He didn't know where the fuck he was boxing. But he has bragging rights if they want to bring that up. I guarantee you somebody brings this shit up. They're going to say, well, Ryan Garcia, he knocked out Fonseca in the first round. But Gervonta, didn't he knock him out in the 7th? That means he has more punching power. That's not the case. You got to look at the weight class. You got to look at when they was fighting. You got to look at how many years ago that was, what was going on in that boxer's life. You never know what was going on and if they had a solid training camp and shit. You don't know. I did it. I compared Devin Haney and Mason Menard and their Mason Menard common opponent, Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. I did it. I sure did. Devin Haney knocked him out in 9, and then, Teofimo in 1. But ultimately, when it comes down to this right here with Ryan Garcia, they really don't have a solid opponent that they can talk about. They don't. So I'm looking at this fight right here, off all the flaws that I've seen with Luke Campbell, and I'm saying to myself, is it a possibility for changes to be made? Hell yeah. Reynoso can possibly make some changes against Gervonta. But one thing I'm saying about Gervonta Davis is it works amazingly against Ryan Garcia is his height. In this particular fight, Gervonta Davis' height is amazing, an advantage for him against Ryan Garcia, especially when you have that goddamn chin just motherfucking floating up in the motherfucking skies, all up in the air and shit, waiting on the Gervonta Davis uppercut to send that bitch all the way up to the freaking national space aeronautics. You know what I'm saying? Astrology, sitting that chin all the way up into a whole nother motherfucking stratosphere, man. Because it's a lot of flaws that he has. Him holding his hand down when he he'll land his combinations against Luke Campbell. You think Gervonta is not a devastating power puncher? I mean, to the body puncher. You think he's not? Yes, he is. We don't even freaking know if Ryan Garcia can handle that body work Gervonta is going to give him. You think Gervonta is going to try to go in there and knock out Ryan Garcia right off the rip? That's what they expect. I'm assuming Tank is going to go for that body first. We're going to test that body. That's all. We're going to test that body. Because what happens when you test the body? That chin that's up in the air, it brings, it descends a little bit in elevation. Keep on touching that body, get the reaction that you want. Allow Ryan Garcia to cover up with those elbows, kind of fold that body in and be reactive. And that's the data that Gervonta is going to pull out of Ryan Garcia. He's going to try to get him to keep on trying to be predictable with his defensive mechanisms to stop that body work. And just like Ryan Garcia said, oh, he thought I was going up top, but I went to the body. Where Gervonta said, hey, he thought I was going back to the body, but I went up top. So we got to hook to the body, hook up top, or that uppercut. Either way it goes, we know Gervonta's power transfers over to the later rounds. He stopped Gamboa in the 12th round. Leo crumbled like a stepped on cookie. Mugs crumble like a stepped on cookie. God damn. Y'all just brutal to the 4 division champion. What's going on, Michael Johnson? What it do, man? Deion Washington say, hey, once again, man, let me put this LK in the chat. Davis versus Garcia would be like Jenkins versus Kirkpatrick from Harlem Nights. Man, look, you know what people are already saying about this fight? They're believing that it can breach the top 5 PPVs. Seriously. This is how quickly the shift changes in boxing. I told you, your fans can love you 1 minute and hate you for the rest of the remaining 30 days. They're saying that this fight could potentially breach the top 5 PPVs buys that's out there. And if I'm not mistaken, the number 5 PPV is up there is Tyson Holyfield. So they actually believe Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. Can you imagine if it came to fruition? How stupid Errol Spence would look. How stupid. I don't mean to keep on freaking goddamn driving my heel on his pinky toe. But if that is the case, knowing that we have that Errol Spence Bud Crawford fight, can you imagine if Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis did over 1 million? We know we know Teofimo Lopez and Vasil Lomachenko grossed over 4 million views. And that was on free TV. But on PPV, boxing is not only the sweet science in the ring, but it takes a damn good science out of this motherfucker when you have 2 opponents that matches up that you wasn't even thinking about. You know why you weren't thinking about them? Because guess what happened? You get this right here. This is linking up well because you got Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence that links up well. They got titles, championships, multi-divisions, blah, blah, blah. They link up well, but the fight can't be made. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, titles can't be made on time. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua can't be made on time. But now you get Ryan Garcia, who hasn't had a premier title yet. but somehow people believe that he has the goods. So he goes in there and get the stoppage, and now he calls out Javante, and people's like, hell yeah. You know, this is giving me the feeling. This is giving me that Floyd Mayweather esque type of, you know, aroma, because people paid to see Floyd Mayweather lose. Right now, I get that same type of vibe that's going on with Javante Davis, that's being that's beneath the banner of Mayweather Promotions. I'm getting that same feeling, because even though Javante is exciting to watch, now you have a black versus Mexican fighter, right? They match up well when it comes to the numbers. They do. It does. So now you have an individual who has the following. He has the videos, the social media. Not so, and Javante, he's out there, but he's not nowhere near the numbers of Ryan Garcia. So this is an unexpected matchup, both in social media, both to the fan favoritism, and also in the boxing ring. This is like unexpected. This shit is crazy. It's unexpected. But people are like, okay, cool. I'm cool with it. What's going on, IB?
What's going on, brother? World Combat. Everything good with you?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, everything good, man. Just chilling out, listening to the, dialect and the topic. I was in the chat. I see you dropped the link, so I decided to stop through.
Yeah, it's all good, man. So looking at this fight there, IB, Javante Davis and potentially Ryan Garcia. Give me a little bit of the pluses that you like about Ryan Garcia.
The couple things I always liked about Ryan Garcia was I like his hand speed. He got pretty quick reflexes, like I always said. For his height, his reach is kind of short for his height, but this last fight with Luke Campbell, I'm glad he took that fight, because it showed me that he could possibly ready to compete with the top fighters, but I don't necessarily feel like he can beat them, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he showed grit. Like when I said it was a great stoppage, I was mainly talking about, like, because he was knocked down in the second round, right? But he still showed grit coming back, being that young, to get the stoppage. That's what I respected him more for, But I don't think he has power like that. I don't think he's a power puncher. He might have a little bit of pop. All boxers should have a little bit of pop, but he doesn't have that type of power Tank can display at all. So he'd be on the defense against a Tank all night, in my opinion. But it's a great fight to make. They both gonna make great money. It's gonna be on pay-per-view, hands down. That's a great fight, in my opinion. A great fight.
It is, man. It's a tremendous fight was working up to. I just think, where I'm at in life in general and what I've seen, I'm not so quick to just jump all in on some of these fights, especially if they lack the credentials to do so. I'm not taking away, you have, your opinion is your opinion, the value and everything. But the way I look at it, like, okay, I guess this is where we at right now in boxing. You need something to sell to the fans. And right now, Ryan Garcia can sell his looks. He can sell his social media followers. He can sell his bravado. He has a smooth type of swag about him that people will gravitate to. And that's what you need. And that is exactly what we're seeing, IB, when people are saying, okay, we want to see this fight. You know what I'm saying? And we want to see this fight with Javante Davis. And automatically what they're going to say is, okay, Javante Davis has power. So does Ryan Garcia. But like you said, Javante has 95% KO. And we all know that Ryan Garcia knocked out a guy who's been dropped by the same shot before by other fighters. So it's a little bit suspect, in my opinion, just to jump all in on Ryan Garcia's power right now. And also, I'd be a fool to tell you that I respect his boxing game. I don't respect that shit, dog. That's just my opinion. I just don't respect Ryan Garcia. Like as critical as I am with Devin Haney has way more boxing technical skills than Ryan Garcia. A lot more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that too. And when you said speaking on Ryan Garcia's, his popularity and his little fan base, it's mainly social media. He got a lot of real boxing fans that support him too. But if 25% of his following actually bought a pay-per-view or a ticket, this fight would be just 25%. This fight would be on Ryan Garcia. This fight would still be a crazy moneymaker. Just
Crazy
at
money maker.
25% of those 8 million followers,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And
that's the
man,
thing.
that I link up
Instagram
with.
won't do nothing for your buys if those fans not buying. It's just popularity contest. We still got to talk boxing too.
True.
So
And
these
see,
fans buy a ticket if you love Ryan Garcia that much. Don't dislike his pics on Instagram and make comments and stuff. Buy a paper, support him, support his career is what I'm trying to say.
and see as media, that's where we have to, if we want to see a good damn fight, regardless if it's a black or Mexican fight, you got to be honest with yourselves. Are you going to build up the fight? Okay, build up the fight and say, okay, tell your followers the buy the damn fight. You got 8 million followers. Tell them to buy the fight because goddamn it, it's 6 million of them individuals buy the fight. Man, it's going to be incredible numbers, and it's not like Tank don't have a following. Tank has an incredible following too, and he's won over some Mexican fans too. Even him knocking out Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, I'm just saying. But if majority, a huge percentage from both sides, especially with Ryan Garcia, who has the most social media following, this fight will do incredible numbers. It would be somewhat like the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. Because the reason why I say that is that I'm not looking at as far as the pugilist and what sport they're competing in. I'm speaking about the unpredictability to happen. People wasn't predicting Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. That shit kind of came out of nowhere. Like Conor McGregor was 0-0, but they were still giving him a chance to win. Ryan Garcia, he just beat Luke Campbell, who wasn't anything too special outside of his gold medal Olympic pedigree. You know what I'm saying? He's been on the top level, but he's failed. But having Ryan Garcia at the right place at the right time, being dropped, getting up, having Saul Canelo Alvarez, Oscar De La Hoya, his brother over there, Eddie Reynoso, he having all those individuals, Bernard Hopkins. He had a lot riding on his shoulder to get his ass up and finish that fight strong. And he probably just said, fuck it, I gotta jump outside my comfort zone. Fuck the swag and everything else, man. I gotta do this shit. And he took it to Luke Campbell. But like I say again, Luke Campbell didn't do too much to make it a war.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like Luke Campbell gave up. At the beginning of the fight, he was coming on. He was looking comfortable in there. Then he just gave up. He wasn't throwing no more punches and bunches. He was just basically fighting off the back foot, like fighting for his life, basically. Like letting Ryan Garcia just take over the fight. So I seen a stoppage coming soon. I seen it.
Do you think it's right for them to potentially be talking about a Ryan Garcia Gervonta instead of a Ryan Garcia Devin Haney now that he is the mandatory? Because I look at if Team Haney doesn't get this fight, man, that WBC they have very limited respect for the position he's holding.
Yeah, if Devin Haney, if Ryan Garcia fights Tank, that's going to put Devin Haney basically on the back burner because it doesn't look like he's about to get a unification for Undisputed with Tio at all. So that's basically going to catapult Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Kind of like I'm not ever going to say a step above Devin Haney, but he's going to gain way more fans. He's going to potentially, you know what I'm saying? Possibly he's going to lose the fight, but he still potentially could get the Devin Haney fight after that. But who knows if Devin Haney's going to move up or not. So I don't know if we ever see Ryan Garcia get an opportunity to fight a Devin. But this would definitely put Devin on the back burner for a hot little second. And I don't really know who Devin Haney will fight next. I really don't know. I couldn't even tell you. It's a few names out there, but I really don't know what's next for Devin Haney at all. But if Ryan Garcia scores this fight with Tank, man, he basically kind of somewhat hit the jackpot, win, lose, or draw.
He did. He would have hit the jackpot with Gervonta, who's been sitting back there chilling, and also, I mean, it would be the best fight on Ryan Garcia's resume right now, and it'll be the best fight Ryan Garcia has that's better than Devin Haney's resume. You know what I'm saying? Because both of them are close, with fights. But when it comes down to who's fought who, it's unfortunately and it's fucked up. But then it comes down to the WBC. If the WBC comes up with a loophole or any type of way to say, okay, let's go over here and promote this fight with Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, that's going to put Team Haney in like a position where, damn, they ain't getting no respect.
Yeah, because Ryan Garcia is supposed to be the mandatory for Devin Haney, and Tank's last fight was at 130. And he doesn't have a belt at 135.
Correct, you said it.
But I'm pretty sure that fight would be at 135. So they basically just fighting for, the money. It's not no strap on the line. So that is kind of disrespectful to Devin Haney. But Ryan Garcia should take the fight with Tank. You know what I mean? Because it's a moneymaker, and you could possibly get that title shot further down the line if Devin Haney doesn't move up. But I would take this opportunity with Tank first too, even if I am the mandatory for a Devin Haney. But that's just me, It'll look better for your career. Tank obviously has a better resume than both of these guys, So, I mean, it is what it is. It's decisions in this game.
It's absolutely, man. I link up in that perspective because it just takes me back to, Canelo taking that risk and jumping in there with Floyd Mayweather and never looking back after he lost, even though he tried to say, he don't count that loss. But Canelo is did nothing but levitate since that fight with Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying in any case that this is going to be the same results with Ryan Garcia Gervonta, but Gervonta is a 2-division champion already, 3-time world champion. And Ryan Garcia is calling him out like that and believing that he can stop him in 2 to 3 rounds, he said. It sounds good. Okay, it sounds good. But for those individuals that's co-signing off that bullshit, damn well that Ryan Garcia stopping Gervonta Davis in 2 to 3 rounds is very far-fetched. But the fight itself, I appreciate. I like everything about the momentum that it's picking up, the traction, how people are talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it, because fuck talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Nothing against Terrence Crawford, but I'm just tired of talking about something that's just like motherfucking smoke and mirrors. Now the lightweight division is about to put on another grand fight if it happens. We got Teofimo Lopez and Vasil Lomachenko. Now potentially Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Hell yeah. I'm all for it. And if that fight breaks into the top 5 PPV, damn. It's some people going to be shaking their head, especially Errol Spence. He's going to be shaking his fucking head, yo. And I forgot to ask you, who's going to be the A side? Oscar De La Hoya said, that the other champions know that Ryan's going to be the A side. Going in here with Gervonta, who you think gonna be the A side, man?
Whoever Tank fights, Tank is always gonna be the A side. Leonard Ellerby, Floyd, they made that obviously clear. So, if you're not comfortable with taking the B side against the Tank, move on. That's just the best way to put it. Tank is always gonna be the A side, regardless of who he fights, and I don't care how many belts you got. He's going to always be the A side. That's just my honest opinion. That's just what I'm going with.
Yeah, man. If Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya have a history together, so it's not going to be a rollover like that. This is not Oscar and Floyd stepping in the ring where Floyd Mayweather capitulated to say I'll be the B side tonight. No, it's not going to be that with this fight. It's totally different. Tank has more credentials. Fuck social media followers when it comes to actual performances in the ring, and Tank is definitely a side in this fight. So from what I'm hearing, and the way the announcement has been placed out there in Scuttlebutt, is that it's close. It's a done deal. That we're going to get Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, but you know how boxing shit is. We know how people play games. But I feel real good about this fight, man. I really think it's going to happen.
Yeah, to get this close, so soon, nothing has been signed yet or nothing like that. But at least we get both fighters saying, it's basically going to be a done deal. We're going to take this fight. That's enough for me. You see how long we've been talking about those other fights. Like you said, I'm sick and tired of talking about them too. And for a person like you that does media, I know you definitely tired about talking about the same subject each and every day. It's your prerogative to or to not do, but I would be tired of talking about the same stuff too. We got to get on some different talking points. And this Ryan versus Tank, it seems like it seemed like it's in the works to be made, and it's not about to take too much longer to make.
Yeah, true, and it's refreshing. It came out of nowhere, so it is refreshing to talk about this fight because it is some loose ends. You know what I'm saying? People are going to talk about Tank's size. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, I believe what's his height and reach? He's like 5'10".
He got a 70. He like 5'10" with a 70-inch reach.
He's 5'10" with a 70-inch reach, and Gervonta is 5'5". I know that for a fact because I remember shit in Baltimore. He's 5'5.5" with a 67-inch reach. So there is a height differential in there, but you factor in the power, the power. You factor in the ring IQ of Gervonta Davis. You factor in the experience that he has on a higher level. You just factor all that in that he's been able to accomplish in his career so far, and being that Ryan Garcia hasn't even came close to that. It's going to be a very interesting fight, man. If it happens, it's going to be very interesting. Another southpaw, and I want to see Ryan Garcia go in here and be lackadaisical with that lead foot with Gervonta Davis, and he's a southpaw. He's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, he's
going
to
get fucking destroyed, dog.
He's going to get countered all night. The only thing Ryan Garcia does have over the Tank, like you said, is the height and the reach. That's it. And you could possibly say speed. That's all I see. Them is the only advantages I can give Ryan over a Tank at this moment. I need to see more. And depending on how we do against Tank, we could possibly say, he does some other things better, but I haven't really seen too much of nothing but the same from Ryan Garcia.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to create a narrative that would be assumed as hating. I'm just saying, just like you just said, I haven't seen anything to make me get all excited about Ryan Garcia. It takes more than social media videos. It takes more than that. It takes more than a Luke Campbell stoppage. It takes more, because if I'm going to criticize Devin Haney for Gamboa, goddamn it, I'm criticize Ryan Garcia for motherfucking Luke Campbell. I'm absolutely am, because neither one of those fights, in my opinion, told me that damn so-and-so should be moved up in this position. And then seeing Ryan Garcia stop Luke Campbell, he should be top 3. There's no fucking way. It's no way that I jeopardize my integrity with media and stand up here like, Ryan Garcia, he stopped Luke Campbell, he should be top 3 now. That's nonsense, man. That's bullshit. Now, the one person that has that top ranking position at lightweight for sure is Teofimo Lopez. He has the belts and everything. Everybody else is going to fluctuate to whoever is looking at it and giving you the top 5 in the lightweight division. It's going to fluctuate. Is Ryan Garcia in the top 5? Sure.
I put him at 5. I put him right at 5.
Yeah, sure, he's at top 5.
Yeah, right at 5 is where I put him at.
If he's able to go in here and have a good showing. What's going on, Terrence? Salute, man. If he's able to go in here and have a good showing, I mean, like I'm talking about anything like going the distance at least. Go the distance with Tank. That's something. Go the distance. Or if he's able to go in there and knock Tank down or stop Tank, that's even a higher level of recognition. Look, if that was to happen, if he was to go in there and drop Tank, he was to go in there and as much as I don't want to play on these words, if Ryan Garcia drops Tank and Tank gets back up and finish the fight strong, most of what they're going to look at is Ryan Garcia dropping Tank. Tank Davis is not going to get the same energy of praise from Ryan Garcia dropping him and getting off the canvas and going back and putting in work against Garcia to close out the fight strong or even stop him. They're going to look at, in my opinion, they're going to say, hey, he dropped Tank Davis. So therefore, he has power enough to do damage in the lightweight division. But they're not going to sit up here and stand up and exalt freaking Tank Davis for getting off the canvas. But if Ryan Garcia can even drop Tank one time, and if he stops him, Ryan Garcia potentially, this is no bullshit. People can go if he goes in there and stops Gervonta Davis, man, you're looking at a new cash cow in the making. You're looking at a new PPV king potentially. All that shit. If he goes in there and stops Floyd Mayweather cash cow, it is a fucking wrap. Y'all can hang it up. Off one fight, Ryan Garcia would have went through the stars, man. One freaking fight, his freaking appraisal jacks up damn tenfold. And you're gonna have to be a very entertaining name to step in there with Ryan Garcia. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I definitely feel you. We got to talk about the what ifs. You feel me? So I'm glad you brought that up. What if Ryan Garcia possibly stops Tank or knocks Tank down? Tank's never been knocked down. Ryan has.
Right.
Tank is the bigger puncher, so they're gonna be expecting, if anything, Tank to do that to Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So if Ryan does somehow pull off a stoppage or even a knockdown, I totally agree with you. More fans is really gonna be like, wow, he done that. You know what I'm saying? That's really gonna catapult Ryan into a whole nother atmosphere, especially if he wins this fight. Because nobody will be expecting that. None of us are expecting that to happen. The real boxing fans, even the casuals, know that that's pretty much not going to happen. But if it does, because it's always a possibility in boxing. It's always a possibility. Everybody has a puncher's chance. So you can't put that past them.
Even Paulie Malignaggi, shit, come on now. You say everybody got a puncher's chance, even Paulie?
Hey, he throw a million punches, but they be soft as hell. I wouldn't give Paulie Malignaggi. I mean, I'm just saying anything. I was mainly saying anything can happen in boxing. Put it like that. You get hit with one clean shot right on the button. Anything could happen. But yeah. Man, Paulie Malignaggi was one of those pillow fisted fighters that threw 1,000 punches in a round, and all of them was the same amount of power.
Yeah, man. This fight right here, we have, power sales fights too. Seriously, power sales fights. And in this case, you have two big names, especially Tank being under the Mayweather banner. It's gonna sell fights. It's gonna sell this fight with Ryan Garcia, and that's why I like it so much, man. Because it is a salute to Ryan Garcia getting the job done, but it's not like it's in my opinion. I just don't give it that over the top special occasion of him doing something that no one else could possibly do. Like, it's just hard for me to even bring that verbally and, put myself in a position to say, man, let me give him credit. You know what I'm saying? He did something that no one else, let me give him credit. It's just, I can't do it yet because I need to see him in there with better opposition. I need to see him there with better opposition. And I'm not gonna lie. When this came up, I said, okay, Ryan Garcia potentially may face Devin Haney mandatory. Okay, cool. Devin Haney needs this fight. You know what I'm saying? He needs it to have a better name on his resume, and Ryan Garcia needs it to have a better name on his resume. Both of those fighters would have linked up very well because this is the first division Haney's been a champion, and it's the first division that Ryan Garcia's been a champion. So it would have linked up very well. So now that he's stepping in here to a 2-division champion, it's a lot more intrigue to the fight. And we'll see what Oscar De La Hoya is talking about, man. If he's going to make it difficult for Floyd, or he's going to surrender and allow freaking Ryan Garcia to be the B-side. And let's get it on. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get it. I don't feel like Oscar De La Hoya is going to be too, you know what I mean, too nitpicky with this, because you got to think, this is a pay-per-view star Ryan Garcia is fighting. You know, the only reason why Ryan Garcia is about to be on pay-per-view is because of Tank. So he's going to have to look at that. He's going to have to look at the credentials, you know, the resume, you know. But I also feel like they're going to have to get their just dues, because if they basically throwing Ryan, this young cat, to the wolves against a Tank, in my opinion. You're throwing him to the wolves, man. Like, it's like throwing a piece of deer meat straight to a pack of wolves, in my opinion.
And it's coming off. And it's coming off. I ain't mean to cut you off, but it's coming off him knocking out another Mexican fighter. You know what I'm saying? Now he's going in here with another fighter in Ryan Garcia, while Tank Davis, he's still relishing in the moment from that Leo Santa Cruz knockout.
But you gotta respect Ryan Garcia for just taking a fight, though. That, you know what I mean? That says a lot. That says he, you know what I mean, he wants to fight the best. And as a boxing fan, I respect that all day. World Combat all day long.
I respect it. But I without putting conspiracy into this shit, like I'm just trying to find out, is this kid just has a little bit of goofiness in him? You know what I'm saying? Does Ryan Garcia has a little bit of goofiness? Because you have to look at yourself like either tough, like I don't give a fuck, I'm tough, or a little bit goofy to say, you know what, I just gotta feel Gervonta's power myself. I just gotta feel it. You know, I don't think he hits as hard as people give him. Ryan Garcia has to understand that Gervonta has the motherfucking power. I guess he has to get in the ring with him to experience it. And he has a lot of people on his shoulders. He's carrying a lot of expectations. He is. So that may be motivating him. No, I'll take that back. That is motivating him. That is giving him more drive. And for him to go in there and say he'll knock out Gervonta in 2-3 rounds, I'll tell you, that might be a little bit of just chalking up the damn trash talk. But I'm saying to myself, you must be out your damn mind. The way you hold your chin up in the air and the way you sit down and flat-footed and throwing your combinations, seeing Tank fight several times, I just see him countering shit. He's a southpaw too. I see him countering Ryan Garcia. And a lot of me says that if he drops Ryan Garcia early in the fight, Ryan Garcia may take a little bit longer. This is according to who we got as the ref, IB. Now, we got Jack Reese in that motherfucker. Ryan Garcia might be able to get up. You know what I'm saying? Because Jack Reese, 11, 12.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
I'm just saying, man. Like
Jack Reese known for giving them the 11 counts out for sure. You know, he give certain fighters the benefit of the doubt, man. That's obvious. We all seen it, you know. And like you said, you say the goofiness. You know, I'm gonna use another word and say, don't be too prideful and let that overshadow the risk that you're taking against a Tank.
Yeah.
Don't let your pride get in the way so much you feel like you got to take a fight that deep down inside, you know, it's going to go the opposite way, man. Second round knockout against a Tank. Come on, we got to be realistic here. You shouldn't even want to go in a fight trying to knock a Tank out that soon.
Correct.
Them is fill out rounds if you're a smart fighter, you know? So
I
don't be too
respect it.
prideful and let that get in the way or overshadow the business you got to handle versus a Tank Davis to possibly win the fight. You know what I'm saying? World Combat.
I feel you on that, man. It's according to what their mentality is, man. If their mentality like a Hagler freaking Hearns, you know, and Roberto Duran, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, it's according to what their mentality is like. But I totally understand what you're saying, man. He shouldn't go in there early, and when Tank is at his best, he's feeling good. You know, a lot of people are saying for Tank Davis fatigue. Well, look, you need to understand Tank has went into the 12th round now. So he understands a lot better as to how he should pace himself. But some fighters have been known to get caught sleeping, and that fighter that they wasn't expecting to come out there full blast, they come out there and start dropping bombs early on. And you know, I don't see that being too far fetched coming out of the Reynoso's. Seriously, man, like they might tell him, "Hey, we're gonna do something he ain't expecting." He's not expecting you to come out there and get in his face and his chest place and goddamn start throwing some bombs and try to test him early. You know, they might think that Tank is that gullible and shit. You know what I'm saying? They might think that shit, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I
for
don't see
sure.
it happening though, bro.
I definitely agree with you. You know, and another reason why I feel like Ryan Garcia doesn't really have no problem with taking this fight and he's saying the things he's saying is because he's young. He wants to shock the world.
You're
He
right.
want to shock the world. So when you get an opportunity to possibly shock the world and the fate is in your hands to do so, shit, why not go for it? You know what I'm saying? Like this is like one of them once in a lifetime opportunities, and it's happening so fast. You might as well just take the spare of the moment to your advantage. So do whatever you could do. You know what I mean to pull it off. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Boots, you know, the link is in the chat, man. I'm not sure who you are, but I'm definitely not sure what the race politics. But you know, you can click on the link if you want to, whoever you might be.
Yeah,
You know,
nobody said nothing about race, brother. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We talking about the topic. Nobody said anything about race.
people look at you criticizing, especially black media. You criticizing a non-black fighter. They want to always put race into it and run off into the distance. But you know, I keep that shit as what I as what I see it as. You know, it's just an opinion based, you know, assessment. That's all it is. Race is something that I'm basically taking every other non-black fighter and I'm criticizing the shit out of them. I'm wishing they don't get the fight. I'm doing all of that shit. I'm wishing nothing but hey, I wish you go in there and get knocked out. I mean, why am I sitting up here trying to explain to these listeners, some of them, what the race politics and what hating is truly is? Hating is not wishing anything positive about anything that fighter is doing. Anything. Like you criticizing every bit of their boxing. You're saying you hope they go in there and lose the fight for no damn reason. You saying that they're not even in the top 15 when obviously they are in the top 10, top 5. You know what I'm saying? So we always gonna have that in the YTBC community. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, man. J8 said if Tank and Garcia next up, who should Haney go after next? Nakatani, Fortuna, Linares, all out there for Haney. Well, I've said it before. You know, Haney needs a step up fight to test, you know, who he is as a boxer and a top contender, and especially him moving up to 140 in the near future. I like Nakatani. The only reason I'm not picking Javier Fortuna because I seen him face Adrian Granados and he quit on me. I like Linares, but Linares has been stopped several times already. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at Nakatani, his only loss is Teofimo Lopez. He's just coming off the momentum of stopping Felix Verdejo. Hell yeah, I want Nakatani. You know why? Because when all this shit was popping off, the Teofimo got his ass whooped in the early rounds. Well, I was looking at it like, damn, they must not understand how tough these Japanese fighters are. There's a lot of tough Japanese fighters in other combat sports. They're tough. These motherfuckers don't play. So Nakatani reestablishing himself, regaining his momentum with that Verdejo stoppage. I'm talking about like we're talking about two individuals who was getting off the deck. That fight, in my opinion, was one of the more exciting fights. I'm serious. So of course Nakatani was the victor. Take that momentum, and Team Haney should take that fight and quiet all the motherfucking naysayers and doubters. Haney go in there and defeat Masayoshi Nakatani. He outboxes. Just say he outboxed the shit out of him. I'm gonna give him his respect. I'm gonna say, okay, cool. You were smart. Your ring IQ was on a whole nother level, and you outboxed Nakatani, and you negated his power with movement, defense, and you was a smarter fighter. But I think that'll be a tough fight for Devin Haney, their J8. But that's my pick, Nakatani. What about you, IB?
Hey, I'm right with you on that for some of the same exact reasons. You know, we talked about that you was at that fight when I brought the situation up to you. When he claimed he bumped his head, I was watching the fight, bumped his head on the ring and needed to, you know what I'm saying? But I do credit Fortuna for that Robert Easter fight. That should have been a draw. I don't think they should have gave Robert Easter that win, but you know what I'm saying? It was a title fight. You know, you gotta really beat the champ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he fought a great fight that night. But once he turned around and do what you seen in person, that it just gave up, you know? And like you said, Linares, come on, man. I know for a fact Devin Haney's going to beat him.
Yeah.
We talking about young competition, great competition, iron sharpen iron. The best fight out of those three opponents you named, J8, definitely Nagatani.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking at. Like, I don't know how we're going to recycle these damn fighters. What number of losses do they need to stop being voiced as a next opponent for these fighters that's up and coming? Because I look at it like this, we have so many people that'll sit up here and say, okay, well, look at this record. Who is he fought? He got bombs on there, right? But then if you're on a level where you're sitting at 18, 20, 22, 25 and 0, but yet you're fighting individuals like Linares who they don't consider a bum, but yet they change it up a little bit, put a different jacket on him and say, you know what? He's a journeyman. He's a gatekeeper. That's a more suitable, respectable name instead of saying, you know what? Why are you facing that bum? That's what they'll say. And how many losses does it take for someone who's been to the top of the heap, but now has taken losses? How many do they need to say, man, why are you facing him? Why are you facing Linares after he's been stopped several times and he was defeated by Vasil Lomachenko and stuff? When does it stop? You know what I'm saying? I know we can't really say that about Fortuna, and I totally agree with you on the Robert Easter. That was a tough fight, but I just didn't think Javier did enough to beat Robert Easter. But that fight right there, it was a good fight. And I would say a lot of it was due to the fact that Robert Easter was fighting lower than his height. Like he was basically fighting short. Him being a taller fighter, he was really fighting on the inside. It was a dog fight. It was a motherfucking dog fight in that motherfucking dog.
He fought the wrong fight. He didn't use his length, his height to his advantage. You know, he fought close and he basically fought Fortuna's fight, which, you know, made him struggle. That's it. That's just all it was. And he's done that in a few fights, in a few other fights. And I haven't seen Robert Easter get down. You know what I mean? I ain't really been seeing him too active lately. And this is my Ohio brother, you know, that's the Ohio native, you know. But I got to call a spade always in the sport of boxing, man. We got to get
in camp. He's down there in camp right now with AB and Javante, Xander Zayas, Daniel Jacobs, Cool Boy Steph, AB, man, all them cats down there right now in camp. So most of the time when AB step on deck, he brings along Rashid Warren, Robert Easter, all them cats. He bring them to fight on his undercard.
Yeah,
so
for
Robert
sure.
is in fight camp right now.
So not to switch up the topic, we obviously know AB's coming back. Do you know anything about his opponent? I know you definitely got more insight, and you know what's going on more than I do. You know what I mean, on the inside scoop. So, do you know anything about who's AB could possibly be fighting next?
It's funny you mentioned that because I actually talked to the president of about billions. I totally asked him to his face. I said, "Hey, I'm media man. If you don't want me to put it out, cool. Do anything you can tell me about AB's next opponent? No, we don't." And so when I ran into AB in San Antonio, he's saying he was fighting 135. AB, he gonna say some shit, whatever. But it was rumor mill it was gonna be Ivan Redcatch. And then it's also out there that maybe Victor Ortiz.
So the Red Catch fight would be at 140. Because I know Victor Ortiz is at 147, but I heard the same thing you heard with the Red Catch rumors, but I heard that fight was going to be at 140.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it has to be. You know what I'm saying? It has to be. But yeah, I did hear that was going to be at 140. And then potentially, Victor Ortiz, of course, he's going to fight at 47. So I really couldn't tell you anything. But I will say, no cap, that I asked when I was in Cincinnati. I was in your backyard. I went up there. Shout out to Michael Stafford and the crew. I went up there to the Golden Gloves. And I asked him straight up when I see him on deck. I'll say, "Hey, is there anything you can tell me about this opponent, man? I need to know." He said, "No, not right now. We're still looking." They probably knew, but with this media shit, man, I don't know. It's all about who has the rapport with you. It's a give and take sometimes. And to answer your question, no, I don't have anything certain, but believe me, I'm trying to find out before it hit.
Yeah, for sure. I know, if you're willing to speak on it, you will. I just had to ask because I really don't know what's next for AB. I had the pleasure of meeting him a few times when I was down in college and stuff like that
Oh,
too.
is that right?
I got a lot of
Okay.
people in Cincinnati, yeah, like outside of boxing, like on a whole nother type of level. But yeah,
Okay.
he a cool dude. Yeah, he a cool dude. But I can say if AB does get the Victor Ortiz fight at 47, that could potentially put him back in the mix. What you feel about that?
In the mix, Victor Ortiz in the mix of 47. Man,
Like
I
if he
just think
beats Victor Ortiz, could you see him possibly getting back in the mix, getting some other big names like the Keith Thurmans and the Danny Good, those type of guys?
now that would be very interesting. He goes in there and looks good against Victor Ortiz. Man, Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman, that'd be a good build up. That'd be a good fight right there for AB if he can get that shit. But as far as me taking the value of Victor Ortiz, who I believe the 47 division has outgrown, in my opinion. I mean, he's just had some questionable fights. Floyd Mayweather was giving it to him. He had Button, then he went in there and looked crazy against Berto. That time, and then he just has some up and down ebbs and flows. But if AB goes in here and looks good against Victor Ortiz, or even stop him, it's possible for AB to jump the line on a lot of cats, man. I'm serious. A lot of cats that's ahead of him in the welterweight division. But once again, there I'm tripping. I'm assuming AB's coming back at 147 because he was up there, man. His weight, god damn, his weight was way up there. So he's had a good amount of time to be in training camp. Is he going to come back at junior welterweight or welterweight? That's my point. That's what I want to know. I
He
want to know, is he
said,
going to come back at 47 or 40?
yeah, me too, because he says out his mouth, you know, I'm 140. Anybody want to fight me? Come to 140. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna be at 140. A lot of people agree that he should go to 140. They feel like he'd be more successful at 140 and building his name back up. But you got to think AB's already a top name, like you said, and that's the reason why he'll jump a lot of these fighters if he was to beat Ortiz at 147, because this man is he's going to do his thing as far as bringing that crowd out. We
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
oh yeah.
You know, whether you want to see him win or lose, AB got a great name when it comes to selling a fight. So, and a
Yeah,
lot
he
of
ain't never
people
been
would
stopped
love to
either.
fight AB. You know.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that, but he said himself that 140 was the more comfortable place to be in a fight at when he comes back.
So if he goes to 140, man, definitely, we remember when him and Regis Prograis was going at it in the media, and that kind of flopped a little bit, but it was good. Regis Prograis, he was still in the WBSS, so he came up short there, but yet he got the experience. And then I just seen him come off that knockout win over there in San Antonio. If by chance he does go down to 140 and fight whoever, and he looks good doing it, then people will pay to see. Regis Prograis, Adrian Broner. Why? Because Prograis got that New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? His fan base and shit. People like Regis, man. And then Adrian Broner bringing Cincy, and that'll be a good fight, man. I mean, seriously, that'll be a good fight. Freaking Regis Prograis. Because you just can't bring Adrian Broner off a soft touch, so to speak, at 40 on his return, because he's been out the ring. He would have been out the ring 2 years, so you can't bring him back and put him in there with somebody that the fans don't know. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You got to put him in there with a name. I doubt it'd be Maurice Hooker. And I am mentioning brothers, but I'm trying to find a non-black fighter to with a name. He's not going to be rated enough to fight a champion. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. I saw Mario Barrios fight. I seriously doubt Mario Barrios and his team would give AB even a look. It's not going to happen. I don't know, man. That's tough, man. Matias, Subriel Matias, man, that's a tough dude right there. I know they ain't putting AB in with him. Shit, that'd be a crazy fight right there. But it's I don't know. It's the wild wild west out there, man, for AB. It's according to how he looks, man. That's all I can say. It's according to how he look. No one knows how he's gonna look, and especially we don't want to see him the way he looked against Manny Pacquiao. So that's a big question mark, bro. Like, another person that looked good, man, at 47, Josecito Lopez, dog.
Oh yeah, he looking strong. He definitely looking strong after he, took that L to Keith Thurman, but fought a great fight. He proved he could come back and still display the same type of boxing skill, and still become a winner. He can still win against these guys. You feel me? He didn't let that discourage him at all. He lost that fight, but he definitely shown the fans a lot from a Josecito Lopez. He's a very strong fighter, hard hitting type of guy, that Mexican style, it works to his advantage, I can say.
Yeah, I agree, man. I like Josecito Lopez. I always like, his fighting style. Man, his last fight, god damn. When you talking about boxing, I was like, damn, Josecito Lopez looks very good, man. And nobody's really gonna keep talking about that Keith Thurman unless it's like we're doing now, because people saying, okay, what's next for Lopez? That would be a good fight for Broner. What do you think about Rashidi Ellis, man? He's at 47. I mean, it's a lot of good names out here, man. Mikey Garcia, he definitely ain't getting that shot at Mikey. Shit. That'd be a good rematch, man. But I don't think everybody want to see Mikey Garcia right now, man.
Yeah, I don't even think Mikey Garcia is ready to get in the ring. We obviously didn't. We ain't seen him since, I mean, we're not even going to talk about that exhibition at all. After that Spence fight, we ain't seen Mikey Garcia in the ring yet.
He fought Jesse Vargas.
Yeah, the Jesse Vargas fight. Yeah.
See, that's how lack of attention people gave it. They're like, okay.
Exactly. I totally forgot about that fight, but you're right. That Jesse Vargas fight, who AB, came out a draw against. You know what I'm saying? That
Yep.
was a draw, but Jesse Vargas is a tough opponent too.
Correct. Yep.
But to answer your question, what I think about Speedy Rashidi, he quick hands. They don't call him that for no reason.
Yeah.
He got pretty good, ring generalship in the ring. But I also feel he could be beat by some of these top names. I've said it before, I say it again. Speedy Rashidi could be beat.
Yeah, that's what they building them up, man. Right now you see the push with Rashidi Ellis, man.
I got Jerron Ennis against a Speedy Rashidi, any day.
Yeah, Jerome Ennis, they pushing him hard right now. J- Jerome has that energy about him that he's going to bring in some fans, but he has to continue to perform. Unfortunately, his last fight, man, stopped from a headbutt and shit like that. But Jerome Ennis is going to have his day, man, and I think the dude is look. Boots is only what 23 years old. It's just crazy, man.
Yep, he 23.
Boots is 23 years old. And he got like what 23, 24 fights or something like that. 24 and 0. I'm not sure, but goddamn. So that's a name out there. But the thing people just overlook about Adrian Broner is the fact that you look at some of the top names is at the list. Sean Porter, he's been in there with Keith Thurman. I mean, not Keith Thurman, Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He's
Great
been in there with
resume, and it's more names. It's a lot. Adrian
yeah,
Broner fought in his career, man. He fought and you got to think he's the youngest 4 division champion to ever do it too.
yeah.
We got to stamp that World Combat. He's the youngest to ever become a 4 division champion in the history of boxing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was look, he did his shit in damn star fashion, man. But people don't give him his motherfucking credit. Even though, dude, look, Adrian Broner skipped 35 and went up to 47, man. He saw opening. Look, he went from 35 all the way up to 47 and picked up a title. He defeated Paulie. And then dropped back down after losing it. He lost it, of course. He had his tough fight with Marcus Madonna. But he ended up dropping back down and facing a guy named Khabib. And he picked up a title at junior welterweight. But he is indeed a true 4 division champion. But people look at who he fought to get there, and they kind of give him the same tough love they giving Crawford. But he is indeed a 4 division champion, never been stopped. One of his best fights in his career was the one he lost.
The Marcos Maidana fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I look,
yeah.
I look at that fight all the time. I was like, damn,
Yeah,
that was a good
that
ass
right
fight.
there, man. That was, I don't really want to, like you said, the conspiracies and all that. A lot of people feel like Marcos Maidana had a little glove situation going on too, but I don't want to go there. But
He had a what?
man, when I seen that, I was like, man, that hurt my heart, man, to the core. Like seeing AB get done like that, he got hit with a clean shot, and we know how Marcos Maidana comes to fight. Chino's not playing with you in there. That's Mexican style for real. Come forward, rough, rugged. He's gonna
Yeah,
apply
man.
pressure the whole fight.
Dog.
Mayweather
Madonna was a dog in
toned
that
that shit
motherfucker.
down. Mayweather toned his ass down though. Excuse my language.
Absolutely.
Mayweather displayed the type of performance that you're supposed to display against a Maidana.
Yeah.
And he did it
I'll be right
twice.
back, man. Keep on cooking. I'll be right back, man.
Okay, and he did it twice. You know what I'm saying? For all the naysayers out there that felt like, oh, Maidana deserves it. You know what I'm saying? Because this goes to show Maidana is going to come to fight. He's going to come to fight. That glove situation, all right, they felt like, you know what I'm saying, Mayweather paid, one point, whatever million, to get that situation handled. They went in there and got it on. And it is what it is. But Adrian Broner, he is still one of those top names. You still got to put respect on his name. And we talking boxing. Don't look at what he does outside the ring or he's trying to be a rapper. Forget that. Look at what he's done for the sport of boxing. That's what you should respect at the end of the day. AB could get his name right back in the mix with a lot of these top fighters, and the title shot to come, right behind it.
It will. He said he's gonna be champion again. He said it. He said,
I
"I'll
feel
be
like it'll
champion
come
again."
quicker at 140 though. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
That title shot to come quicker at 140.
you got some killers at 140 though,
Yeah, we do. We got some killers out, but who do we got at 147 though? Let's compare that real quick.
and you got some killers in both divisions. You know, I don't see him beating. I don't see AB getting in there with Virgil Ortiz first and foremost. I don't see him even coming close to fighting Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, even though that fight will make really good money just because you know you have those two individuals, more so Terrence Crawford than Errol Spence. Um, that fight you mentioned, Keith Thurman. Um, it'll be a good fight, but once again, we're talking prelims. You know, before the fight actually take place, on him, you know, letting his hands go. We're still trying to see who his opponent is going to be and what his performance grade. Once we see that, then we can start talking about whether he should be in there with top 10. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see him step in there with Amir Khan and knock his ass out. But I know Amir Khan is not going to give Adrian Broner that type of love. Kavalauskas. You know, Kavalauskas will be a tough go for Adrian Broner. But yet, if he's able to defeat Kavalauskas, it'll put him higher on the chain to get a pretty decent fight. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends. Adrian Broner can pick up an interim championship. You know what I'm saying? He can pick up something.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm glad you mentioned Kavalauskas because I put Kavalauskas in that same type of category with the Josesito Lopez's. Come off, you know what I mean, a loss, but still prove you could display great boxing skills, use the same type of fight you use to be successful in a close fight before. Even though Kavalauskas got stopped by Terrence Crawford, he's shown he was a game opponent. But he still came back and he proved he could win fights.
He did. And you know, Kavalauskas, even though he's going to be attached to Terrence Crawford for a minute, he also going to get some praise for how he was able to perform in there against Terrence Crawford. Period. I mean, they're going to give him praise
because nobody knew him. Nobody knew who this guy was. Everybody was basically talking down on his name. Even me, I was calling him sewing machine, cotton candy machine. But once I seen him fight, I'm like,
hey, BFTV called him green beans, didn't he?
Yeah, they was calling him green beans, But it is what it is. That's because we didn't know this guy and we expected Terrence Crawford to just walk over him, Knowing that Terrence Crawford we expected him to just go in there and, get him out of there on some quick stuff. But it didn't go like that. He still got him out of there, but he definitely made the fans that didn't know his name, we know his name now. Now we calling him by his government. Some people still call him green beans, but I feel like he deserves the right to be called by his real name now.
Lawrence in the house, I ain't see you in there, man. Lawrence Williams, shout out. He said, Red Cash might fight Spence. IBF mandatory in a stay busy fight. Man, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit, Lawrence. Goddamn Errol Spence fight. Ivan Red Cash, man. Fuck all that.
That's the last one I want to see.
Yeah, that's gonna take me back to him when I drove all the way up there, me and my son, and checked out him fighting Carlos Ocampo, and the shit ended in one round. I ain't trying to see none of that. He said, my guess is AB versus Velasco, former opponent of Regis and Barrios. Oh, I mean, I'm not mad at that because we're looking to see him get back in the square, check out his rhythm, his form, his energy and everything. I mean, like I said, AB has respect amongst the boxing community. Even though he's suffered some one-sided losses, he's never been stopped. So AB has this distinct dynamic that you rarely get being in there with the names he's lost to. Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter's, you know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia's. He's been in there with some very tough names, but yet he ain't never been stopped. Marcus Madonna, the worst fight of his career. Mikey Garcia really couldn't do anything except what Errol did to Mikey. It was somewhat a similar fight. The way Errol fought Mikey is somewhat the same way Mikey fought Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? It was defensive shell, and also Sean Porter. He ended up getting dropped in the 12th round, I believe. But
Yeah, that
that
check
just
left
goes to
hook.
show you.
He was surprised. That left hook came at the perfect time. He didn't even, that was literally like the perfectly timed punch because Adrian Bronner just threw it. He just threw that punch out there, but it landed at the perfect time. I should say. Adrian didn't know he was about to knock him down with that punch.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. That shit even shocked me. I was like looking, I say, man, he just didn't drop Sean Porter, did he? Matias in talks to fight Gary Antoine Russell. That'd be a damn good fight, man. Damn, that'd be a good fight. A lot of people don't know the Russell brothers. You got Gary,
Man, Gary
Gary
Antoine
Russell.
Russell, man. Woo!
He's at 126, right? And then you has his
Nah,
brother.
Gary
And
Antoine at 140. I think Antonio is down
no,
there at
I said
140.
Mr. Gary Russell Jr. is at
Oh, okay,
126.
okay, okay. Yeah.
And I
And
said Gary Antonio is at 118, and Gary Antoine Russell, which I'm mentioning right now, versus Matias, he's at 140. So they have a fluctuation, in weight classes that they're at right now. But Antoine is at the higher weight class right now at 140. That Matias fight, I'm telling you, people that's tuned in, man, that Russell versus Matias, if it's going down, damn, that's gonna be a fire fight. Damn, that's gonna be fire. Josecito Lopez back in March or April. Yeah, I like Josecito Lopez for sure. Virgil Ortiz and Rashidi Ellis are in talks for March, but I think they fight on the same card in separate fights. It'd be good to see that fight. Well, I'm still not sold on Virgil Ortiz. He is a solid fighter, and of course, I think he's gonna have his success coming real soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering when they're gonna put him in there with Gordinas Ugas or somebody. We just trying to see what the fuck Manny Pacquiao is gonna do with that WBA title. He talking about fighting Conor McGregor. Okay, if you're gonna fight Conor McGregor, vacate the title.
facts.
Let somebody else fight for that WBA title, man. You ain't gonna fight Terrence Crawford and all this other shit in boxing. You want to go fight Conor McGregor, try to get a paycheck, vacate that motherfucker, man. Don't keep us waiting. Man, I said that seeing AB get done like that hurt a little. I guess I got a different mentality, man. I didn't feel hurt. Just like supporting Deontay Wilder. When I see a fighter going to their me, I feel quite the opposite. If I support a fighter and they get put in adversity, this is when I really pay attention. I look at just other things about that fighter. How deep, how dark are they willing to go? I was looking at AB and I wasn't feeling sympathy for him. I said, okay, let's go, AB. Let's go, AB. I want to see what he's gonna do. And I want to see where you're gonna go, man. Like they always talk about cojones. You don't have cojones. You see what somebody's intestinal fortitude is. Get back up, AB. All right. You start to slowly but surely gain that momentum back. He get dropped again. Okay, get back up. I didn't feel no sympathy for him. I was like feeling energy. I wanted him to give me that energy, like, motherfucker, I'm cut from a different cloth. Period. Yeah, I'm in some shit right now. I'm gonna show you motherfuckers I can fight out of it. And that's exactly what AB did. Same with Deontay Wilder. He never quit. I just look at motherfuckers, I just look at them different, like the toughness and everything about it. That's all. I got mad respect for AB, man. I seen him in person several times. People gravitate to AB. AB coming that motherfucker with a ski jacket on with no shirt on, a stomach and everything. He don't fucking care, dog. That's what I like about AB. He don't change up the script. He give you what AB is. That's it.
Yeah, that's facts. It's his personality and his charisma, man. That's basically what it is. On top of what he's done in boxing, that you have no choice but to respect. You can just go to BoxRec and look at his resume. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
Win, lose, or draw. All you have to do with AB is go to his BoxRec, but he give you extra. you know, with the personality he got. Whether you want to see him lose or whether you want to see him win, you want to see AB in the ring. And a lot of people pay, man. That's just facts. From what I've seen, a lot of people pay. So, you know, it is what it is. He's done a lot of crazy stuff outside of boxing, but we're gonna keep it boxing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because at the end of the day, motherfuckers ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if you want to be if you in support of boxing, there's a lot of cats that's in boxing because it has an open turnstile in the first place. Boxing allow individuals to get out of jail and prison and come and fight and make a living. So you can't really come up here and looking for motherfucking um how you put it saints. You're not coming to boxing looking for saints and motherfucking innocent kids who want to compete in the full contact sport, which is one of the longest withstanding sports in the game of full contact. You're not gonna find that shit here. You're gonna find motherfuckers from all walks of life, street, all that shit, in here trying to make a living. That's all I can say about that. That's what you're gonna get. Marcus Madonna, Sean Porter, Mike Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. Shit. He's been in there with some big names, man. He got 4 losses right now. You know, his last fight was January 2019. So he's approaching the 2-year mark coming up. So we look forward to seeing AB back in the square, man. I know you down there getting in. I'll check out his IG videos. Hell yeah, we're looking to see him get back in the ring, man. J.A. said Virgil called out AB out a few months ago. So what is Virgil T looking to gain calling out AB, who been out the ring for 2 years? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't even help him out. He's a WBA gold champion. He shouldn't be calling out somebody like AB right now unless he just wants the name. You know what I'm saying?
He need to be calling out champions.
He need to call out Ugas. That's what you need to call out. Shit. Call out Yadina's Ugas, goddammit. He just picked up that strap. He's at 21 strong, so I respect AB more than I do a lot of these other guys. I got mad respect for AB, man. Regardless of him being in court and saying what he's saying, been in what he's been. I'm not here to judge any street dude. I've been in the streets myself. You know, it's difficult to tell cats who don't know too much about you, but you know, it wasn't easy for me coming up. But no way, shape, or form I'm trying to compare myself to AB. I'm just saying I don't judge the cats that's out here that was out here doing shit that got them in trouble. Because I was getting in trouble too. And at the time, I didn't think it was wrong. I was like, shit, I got to get it how I get it. You know, Manny needs to drop the belt and get the hell out of the way. Hey, I concur that 21 strong. I concur for real. You know, hey, your situation, not be, was it in Cincy or is it somewhere else?
You talking to the chat, right?
No, I said your situation was in Cincinnati or somewhere else.
Oh, Columbus.
Columbus. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Columbus, but I went to college in Dayton for a couple of years. But my situation happened in Columbus on spring break, so I never went back to college.
Oh shit! Damn. Okay, I got you. J.A. said Manny need to retire. We all know that, but as we're talking about Ryan Garcia, right? It's somewhat the same with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao has such a glorified career, 8 division champion. He has a name. Ryan Garcia has the look, the name. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get to that status where he can be in a Manny Pacquiao situation. You know what I'm saying? Well, motherfuckers, whenever your name come up, people just, you know, say, yeah, go ahead and fight him. Yeah, that's Ryan Garcia. That's Manny Pacquiao. You know, that's what's trying to happen right now because Manny Pacquiao, man, he was sort of a good guy in the sport. People looking at Ryan Garcia as a good guy. You know, Manny Pacquiao can do no wrong except, you know, the speculation. You know, of him moving up 8 divisions and people speculating that he was doing this, that, and the other. But Hey, I call it the way I see it, man. I know a lot of people got mad at me because I said, you know, put your ass in drug testing, man. Put yourself in the drug pool. Stop fighting these fights. Adrian Broner shit that wasn't tested. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman shit wasn't tested. Put yourself in the motherfucking testing, man, and see how you perform. That's all I'm saying, man. It's not personal.
Because Manny Pacquiao definitely rejected testing before in his career. Hint, hint.
Yeah, for real, man. And then they act like Floyd Mayweather was being discriminating against Manny Pacquiao because he said I wanted him to do Olympic style testing like I am. You know what I'm saying? And Manny said, no, can't do no testing because I'm scared of needles. Okay, but you got a tattoo. Okay, we got it. And the good thing about Manny that he was never caught. You know, he was
But a
never
lot of
fucking
people
caught,
seen the
dog.
signs, though. They seen the signs. That head swelling up and shrinking back down and swelling up. But those are just signs and speculation. I don't want to put nothing on them. But that's just what the people have seen. But why wouldn't you want to get tested if you're Manny Pacquiao for one, and you supposedly a clean boxer? Why not get tested?
This is ended with they put this out here that and though a lot of people may not be interested, you know what I'm saying, but it's been a while since I even talked about MMA. But Khabib Nurmagomedov, the current, he's retired now, but the undefeated 29-0, he's saying that his manager has received a huge offer to box Floyd Mayweather. So they're really trying hard, and I've spoken extensively on this on previous lives on how the UFC is attempting to bleed over and get that boxing money. And they're doing it without actually putting their fighters in the boxing ring for an extensive amount of time. They just doing drive-bys. That's all. Conor McGregor was able to do it. So now they're trying to say, okay, is it going to be Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao, or Khabib Nurmagomedov, Floyd Mayweather? Khabib is retired right now. So that'll be an opportune time for him to step into the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Now, of course, Khabib is a vicious savage and two-time Sambo world champion when it comes to the cage. But as far as him going in here outboxing Floyd, it's not happening, people. Pay for the fight if you want, but it's just Floyd doing what Floyd does. You know what I'm saying? He's picking up Khabib, who is undefeated now, lightweight champion in the UFC, a dog. I mean, I can't compare him to a dog. I got to compare him to a Kodiak bear. Khabib is a motherfucking bear. He used to wrestle bears growing up. It'll be opportune time for him to face Floyd Mayweather right now. Seriously, that would be perfect. Because his dad passed away. He was very close to his father. And he's taking time off, getting over that, and stepping in the ring with Floyd. Man, it would be wild. I'm curious to know if Khabib will go the distance with Floyd. How many rounds will it be? You know what I'm saying? That'd be a good exhibition bout. Real talk.
Yeah, for sure. Being retired from your career sport that been competing in, you got to get why the getting is good to get some extra checks. And this check versus a Floyd Mayweather is going to be extra healthy. So you can come on in here and take the risk. Get you bringing your MMA type of style into it, because that's all you've been doing is MMA against one of the most skilled fighters in the history of boxing and get whooped on. But at the end of the day, you about to feed your family and get a healthy check. So I would say it's more than worth it.
Yep, I agree, man. It's more than worth it. And that check is gonna be seriously healthy. Motherfucker gonna be full of calories, goddamn it. Shit. Goddamn all the zeros he gonna get in there fighting Floyd. They're gonna have to pay Khabib too. Because Khabib does have a name. I mean, his name isn't as huge as Conor McGregor at the time that he stepped in there with Floyd because he was a 2 division champion at the same damn time. But Khabib has amassed a following over there in mixed martial arts. He is legit. He is a legend of the sport. And once again, Floyd Mayweather being the genius he is, he's about to potentially pick up Khabib to come over there and fight in the boxing ring and hit these motherfuckers in the head with another mallet, a double claw hammer, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't even pay for the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight because I knew Conor wasn't beating Floyd.
Yeah, I knew the same. I knew what it was. I know these type of fights, is these type of fights that happen is for entertainment. That's what these people are paying for, entertainment. But at the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather, you're not beating him in the boxing ring. And if you do, which I don't feel will happen, man, you better try to get a rematch.
Now, Floyd good for getting 2-for-1s. He did that with Madonna. So, I doubt Khabib would step in the boxing ring twice unless they can fool the crowd enough to say, you know what, we're going to pay PPV for this fight again. You know what I'm saying? They might be able to fool him. Floyd is a genius like that. Floyd talked to these fighters ahead of time. This is what I want to happen. This is what's going to go down. Of course, they're going to talk about the freaking play out. Khabib, like you said, he gets a healthy check. If they're able to sell the fight just enough, people want to see a second one. And that check is going to be healthy. So we'll see what happens with that, if they make it official or not, man. Any final words you want to say to the dance supporters and boxing fans out there? I appreciate you pulling up as always. Appreciate those in the live chat. You know what I'm saying? We're still in the first week of 2021. So continue to drop by, support World Combat Sports. I appreciate it. Any final words there, Abi?
Yeah, man. I just want to, thank you for having me once again, man. We always chop it up and speak some good, respectable boxing, touch on a few topics as always. I stop in, on a regular. I might not hit the panel every day, but it's all love. Yeah. Just a happy New Year's to everybody, man. And I appreciate you for having me again, man.
You're always welcome. I appreciate you pulling up, IB. Salute, respect, and appreciate your boxing input. And for everyone else that pulled up today, it's always appreciated, man. Hit the like button, man. Share the content, and also pass the word so we can help out these subscribers. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. And shout out to Kano Local Sports is in the building. What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you're tuned into World Combat Sports.